All right, welcome back everyone. Well, after a couple weeks off, we went back for another track day and ended up back at Wild Horse Pass where we were just a couple weeks ago. The exciting thing, well, there are actually a couple exciting things about the first one you can see right here on the screen is that it wasn't dark out. So super excited. The days are getting a little bit longer and don't have to get up in the pitch darkness to get down to a track day. As you can see, it was a beautiful day in the southwest. Sun was out, nice and warm. I think it may have been close to 80 degrees that day. You may have seen the previous video on Wild Horse Pass where I went into a little bit more of the history and some of the tracks at the facility, etc. So I highly encourage you to look at that for more information. But quick drive from where I live, only about 30 minutes away. Don't need to charge along the way, which is awesome. Just makes the day a whole lot easier. And so for the track itself, we were at the West Track facility, which again, I've never been to the West Track and was looking forward to check it out. So what we'll do is we'll do an overview of the track and kind of a run through using some footage and kind of going over the track map, and then we'll leave it off some footage from a couple good laps. All right, let's take a look at the Wild Horse Pass West Track map. So starting with the overall facility, I'll just get my pen up here. As you can probably see, here we go. The overall Wild Horse Pass facility, we covered some of this in a prior video with the East Track over here. Obviously, if you're into boat racing, you got the big lake here. And where we were last weekend was at the Radford Racing School with the looper configuration, which is right down there. And we'll go back. We'll zoom in a bit, and there is the West Track. Small track, I think just over a mile. A lot of tight corners and one long straightaway at the back. The parking and gridding area is right here. So let's walk through a quick lap. So when you come onto the track, actually it's right over here, but imagine you're coming around. I don't know if the start, let's assume the start finish line's right here just for the sake of this, though it may be on the back straight. It's gonna come down this kind of curve straightaway, we'll talk about that, into a very slow set of corners here. So coming in here, it's very hard braking. Gonna go through this long set of left-hand corners, which you can kind of double apex. Then into this ovalish configuration. Again, set of corners here that you can double apex, you can come out wide. And heading onto this short back straight here, you'll notice this side of the oval is a slightly different shape. So what you can do is you come out and you're really setting you can kind of straight line this when you get it set up right. Kind of straight line through here, and you can come out really, really wide because you're going to come in late to this corner to set yourself up for the next section. I'm not drawing this particularly well. I'm going to come into this next set of slow corners now. Right here, this corner is very slow, and it was pretty easy to overshoot it and end up a little wide out here. But I think I found if you come in a little bit to the right and come in late to this corner, what you really want to do is set yourself up well for this straightaway here. You can come out. And once you kind of get through this section, you can more or less straight line it all the way down to this right turn, which leads you onto the main straight. So this whole section back is really setting you up for this short straightaway here. Come down, brake hard for the right-hand turn onto the main straight. Well, let's call it the long straight, since I wasn't sure where the start-finish line was. Anyway, so this is the longest straight on the track. It's really the only long straightaway. Come down, and in the braking area for this turn, right through here, it's quite a bit bumpy. And this was definitely a challenge for me. I was very conservative in the braking zone for this turn. I don't think I ever braked as late as I possibly could because I was concerned about the bumps unsettling the car and possibly running off. And so on multiple occasions coming down this straightaway, I was either on the right-hand side of the straight due to traffic, or when I was alone or had, reasonable gap to the traffic in front of me, was super conservative with the braking. So I think from a lap time perspective, I left a lot on the table here, just being conservative, and also it was my first time at the track and I was still learning the configuration. So hard braking zone here into this right-hand corner. And now you have a slightly faster set of corners to head back to where we started. Come back through here. Now this section these are the high-speed corners on this lap. And these are pretty interesting. So you come through, and you can see the corner markers right there. And depending on how much risk you want to take, you can really track out wide here to set yourself up through this section and back to this braking zone over here. But what's challenging about this is at this area of the track out here, the surface changes a little bit. It's rougher, more worn out. There's marbles and sand out here. So depending on how quickly you take this, if you were to push wide, you could end up in trouble pretty quickly. And you really don't have anywhere to go if you were to run off track. And if I recall, we'll see if we see it in the video, but this area is not flat. I believe there was more or less a barrier out there, or at least a sand type barrier. So if you were to run wide, you could end up, running into that, which would be a bummer and ruin your day. But anyway, the fun, fast right-hand turns through here and back. Anyway, really, quick lap. I think in the race groups, I saw times under a minute. I think realistically for the Model 3, you're looking at low 1 minutes, 1 minute 2, 1 minute 5, depending. But overall, really enjoyed the track, actually more than I was expecting. From the previous week when we were at the track down below here, I didn't enjoy that configuration very much, and I was wondering if this kind of short track with many slow corners would be fun. But actually, it was a lot of fun. Was in a good run group this time. We're able to get space and just really enjoy the car and get some good clean laps in. Anyway, so we'll leave it there and jump into a bit of lap footage.